Department of Corrections, Kearney Center Industrial Complex. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is $26.06. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, I also found this thing that Mitchell Eads had wrote for me, a declaration of Mitchell Eads.
Right.
It was me versus Tony Parker in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee at Nashville.
Right.
Listen to what he wrote. He said, I am an inmate housed in the Tennessee Department of Corrections Kearney Center Industrial Complex, and he's got the address. He said, number 2, I was moved/transferred to TCIX on January 10, 2018 from Northeast Correctional Complex in Mountain City, Tennessee, in retaliation for being assaulted and seeking legal redress, or whatever it's called. The purpose of my retaliatory transfer was to separate me from my fiancé by 500 miles and terminate my prisoner industrial enhancement minimum wage employment so as to prevent me from paying for and hiring an attorney to file suit. It has been a long-standing and routine practice for Tennessee Department of Correction officials to retaliate against prisoners and transfer them across the state for no other purpose than to create a hardship for the inmate and his family. I was housed in Unit 5B, Pod Cell 203 on 2018 when inmate Michael Haycraft, 277-11, was transferred here and placed in segregation housing Unit 5B, Pod Cell 206. I witnessed Unit 5 Unit Manager David Gary on many occasions standing at Cell B 206 and verbally abusing inmate Michael Haycraft in a threatening and most unprofessional manner. I witnessed Michael Haycraft leave Unit 5B Pod in early April. I witnessed Michael Haycraft leave Unit 5B Pod or 5B Pod around 1 p.m. on Friday, June 15th to move to Unit 4B Pod. I witnessed Michael Haycraft return to Unit 5B Pod at around 5:30 p.m. on Friday, June 15th, 2018 without his personal property. I witnessed other inmates move into Unit 5B Pod in cells 102, 103, and 105 after Michael Haycraft did on Friday, June 15th, 2018. I witnessed the inmates in cells 102, 103, and 105 receive their personal property on the morning of Saturday, June 16th, 2018. Inmate Haycraft still has not received his property despite repeated requests for it. TCIX officials make common practice to discriminate and retaliate against inmates and wield the protected custody placement policy 40409 as a weapon as a way to segregate and punish selected inmates. Myself and Michael Haycraft have been retaliated against by the same individuals. I, Mitchell Eads, hereby certify that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief under penalty of perjury. I further certify that the foregoing declaration should be considered self-notarized under 28 U.S.C.A. 1746 and Tennessee Rule of Civil Procedure, Rule 72, executed the 16th day of June, 2018.
Now, did he file that for you?
I don't know if he filed it. I mean, he said it ain't got no civil action number on it, though.
Well, I think that has to come from the court.
Right. I mean, well, I can give you his name and number, and you can write him and ask him, because I need you to send him some stuff anyway when you get it.
Right. Well, I can do that later, or maybe tomorrow. I think I've got his name and stuff like that.
Okay.
But now, to catch people up on that, Mr. Eads was at Northeast, which apparently that facility has changed a lot since you were there, because it was the shining star of TDOC as far as we had experienced. And that he was assaulted with a weapon by 4 or 5 gang members, and that they had beaten him in the face, and that he was in medical there, is what he told me, for 4 days, begging someone to help him because he was in such pain. He said he could feel his teeth floating around in his gums, which meant that the roots of the teeth had been broken loose, and that
he had to have reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he had multiple fractures in his face, didn't he?
Right. Yes, he did.
So did they finally, when did they send him to special needs? Because that's the only facility is that where he had the surgery done?
Yes, that's the only facility that you can go, that inmates can go to have like surgery or wisdom teeth cut out, or just anything. That's where I had my surgery back in. It's been between '97 and 2000. That's where I had to go when I had my resurgery on my jaw.
And the surgery on your jaw was from where you had been assaulted with a tire tool and had shattered your palate, knocked your front teeth out. That was in what year?
That was done in '97. The actual surgery, the first surgery was done by Dr. Bennett in Dyer County. That happened in Dyer County Jail.
Right.
And let's see, when I got sent to prison, somehow it had gotten infected, and they transferred me to special needs where, I can't remember that doctor's name, but there was a doctor there that had done my surgery, and where I had my false teeth, after he done fix my jaw and stuff, he had wired my mouth shut, and with my partial in, and I got sick, and so I started kicking the door. They had put me in not DeBerry, there's a reception center at Charles B. Bass is the facility in Nashville, the reception center they had placed me at. I don't know why they didn't keep me in special needs, because I had wires on my mouth, but they segregated me from everybody else, and they give one of the nurses a set of wire cutters to cut the wires in case I got sick, because if not, I would choke on my own vomit and die.
Right.
So I went to kicking on the door because I was getting sick, and when the nurse came over there, it was a big panic. The officer started panicking. He dropped his radio. He finally got on there and called the nurse, and the nurse got over there. She went to cut the wires and cut the corner of my mouth open. But she was finally able to get the wires cut, and I got sick everywhere. And this all happened within a 24-hour period. I also had another surgery, so they had to put me back in surgery and redo this.
But now the reason that let's go back so that people will understand. After you were assaulted with the tire tool, they put you in Dyer County Jail, and there was an inmate there that broke your jaw.
We got in an argument, and we had squashed it, I thought, and I was up on the bars. I was in 8 Dart, which is the felony side, and I was talking to the 25-man cell, and the guy snuck up. Marvin Bannister was his name. He snuck up behind me, and people call it snoozing, because it's kind of like what they do. They come up behind you and they hit you without you looking. And what he done was he had broke my mandible.
Right.
So even when he did that, I still had stitches in my gums from being hit in the mouth with the tire tool. The roof of my mouth was still, I was still healing.
Right.
And I hurt the dude real bad.
Well, the legal system.
They put me in the drunk tank for 4 days with a broke jaw. And finally I got to kicking the door because I couldn't eat. I was hurt. And I said, look, either get the sheriff over here or I'm fixing to file suit.
So
the sheriff over here, he takes one look at me and says, get him to the hospital.
So they let you suffer for 4 days because these people didn't even recognize how severely injured you were.
Correct. For 4 days straight. And then finally, when they did take me to when they did get me to the hospital, they took x-rays and said, yeah, your mandible's broke. And so they put me into outpatient surgery. They put me in a cell by myself. Well, they put me in a cell with the weekenders, which is only 2 or 3 inmates.
Right.
They had put me in there, and they had scheduled my surgery for, I think, the next day or the day after. They put me in there. They did my outpatient surgery at Dyersburg Methodist Hospital. And when I got back to the jail, I had a big pad on my neck where they cut my neck off. There's a 6-inch scar. Is that about how long it is?
It's 4 to 5 inches as far as the scar.
Yeah, that's
I can provide a picture of the scar. With your permission, I can provide a picture of the scar.
Sure.
And let's be
anything you need to provide.
let's be clear as far as the reason that your teeth were knocked out had nothing to do with what you had done, but because you were associated with other people that had committed a crime.
Right. Correct.
Same thing with Sullivan County. You did not take anything out of the Walmart. Even in the police report, it did not specify that you took anything out of the Walmart. But the people that were with you did.
Correct.
And that you were in such a state of crisis with your mental health that you had no idea what was going on.
None whatsoever. None.
And that still all these years.
I did not take nothing out of that store. I know for a fact.
All these years later, and you have been consistent since 2014 on this, that you have little to no memory of what happened during that 9 months you were away from home.
Correct. Yep, absolutely. I mean, even, and not to change the subject or anything, but I had also written the Warden Genevieve about my property, and I wrote that on, it was a two-way message on 6/18/2018. That was when I was in 5D 107 cell. That's when they had took me back up there because they said I'd refused cell assignment. I thought the main topic was property was taken for no reason. I filed a grievance regarding my personal property being taken because of a refusal of cell assignment. I haven't had my hygiene, clothing, religious material, or anything since Friday, 6/15/2018. That was the third day I was out without it. When I went to D-Board on Monday, 6/18/2018, nothing was said about the RCA. Nobody seen me. I never signed nothing that I didn't commit. I haven't had a shower since 6/15/2018. D-Board didn't put me on property restriction. Why does unit manager have the right to do so? Please have my personal property returned to me. And that was on 6/18, almost a month ago, and no response has been given back to me at all by the warden.
So they found you guilty over something that you didn't even do.
Correct. Pretty much. And then even when I had the corporal say, no, I didn't tell them you refused the assignment. And then 6/18/2018, I had sent Miss Susan Glass a two-way message saying having bad thoughts and a lot going on. I'm being treated cruel and haven't had any hygiene of my property since Friday. Something needs to be done. I've not done anything to lose my property. I need my property. And I signed it and I sent it to her. No response. Okay,
Susan Glass is a mental health counselor. Now, is she also hired by Corizon?
I don't know. She's my mental health therapist, but I don't know if she was hired through Corizon or not. I don't know. I think that's a different thing.
Okay, because I know they were the ones that were there at MCCX.
Right.
So they're outsourcing all the mental health stuff, and you've got to wonder how much these people get paid. And I know there for a long time there's over 2,000 inmates at the Turney Center, correct?
I believe so.
And that she had said at one point that they had finally hired another counselor.
Right.
So one individual was trying to deal with the needs of, not that all 2,000 are diagnosed, but there must be hundreds on the caseload.
Mental health. It was two mental health therapists that was actually, or maybe there was a guy involved too. I don't remember his name, Mike something. I think there was three, but still three for 2,000 inmates. Come on. I mean, that's like them probably not getting to see us but once every 2 months.
Right.
So and a lot of times when we are in crisis and we ask, we don't get nothing done.
Right.
I mean, they threaten to put us on suicide watch and all that, which if they put you on suicide watch, you get dressed out in a turtle suit and all that stuff.
Right.
So, it's crazy.
It is. Now, let me ask you something. Is Special Needs in Nashville, is that also the place where people with severe mental illnesses are sent?
Well, yeah, they have a unit there, I think, that houses mentally ill patients. But I don't know. The only time I've been there was when I had my surgery a long time ago.
Right. Because the gentleman that
I've heard that
you heard what?
I've heard that they do have a unit there for mentally ill people.
Now, the gentleman that they had sailed you with, the gentleman they had sailed you with, he doesn't need to be in there either. He needs to be someplace where he can have the proper care too.
Right, because
He's got some severe issues.
Right.
And so it's a matter of trying to get help not only for you, but for all the other ones that are going through this.
There's numerous people that need help. And I mean, a lot of them need help that they can't give in these facilities.
Why do you think that the public doesn't care what happens to you all?
Well, because, I mean, we're looked upon as less than. They look at us like we're so dangerous, like we've robbed a bank or we've committed murder or something. A lot of us are in here for petty theft charges, burglary charges, violations of probation. I've seen people in here with violations of probation that's been in here for years.
Good God.
Because they had a probation violation. You know, and I've watched child molesters and murderers or homicide people get sent home, be made paroled home, and I've watched numerous petty theft charges and people and all that get denied parole. So I mean, I don't know. It's not right.
So it's a matter of the public not understanding what the term felon means, isn't it?
Well, a lot of times, yes. That's
because
correct.
They automatically assume that somebody who is has the label of felon is some kind of violent offender, and that's not so.
Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, they look at us like, you know, we're very dangerous to society, and I'm not. I've never had a violent charge. I've never hurt nobody that where I was charged with it. I've never killed nobody. I've never raped nobody. You know, mine's just petty theft charges, burglaries. I mean...
And all of it related to the mental health issues which came from the severe childhood abuse.
Correct.
And when you started acting out at the age of 12, Dyer County started incarcerating you, didn't they?
Yeah, I started going to youth facilities, started going to jail.
Tell me what happened in some of the youth facilities.
Well, I remember this one time that me and a guy had gotten in they were just telling us to stand on our door because they was counting. Well, this dude named Ricky Stoltz or whatever his name was, he had brought me a folder, and they had a bunch of rock bands, AC/DC, Def Leppard, stuff like that on the folder. Well, when I opened it up, there was a white cross. I mean, a cross burning. There was Ku Klux Klan stuff in it, and I'm like, wow. And then the officer, I guess, seen me with it and said, hey, bring it up here, which was a black officer. I took it up there, and they sent me to segregation, even after I told them that it wasn't mine. Well, during that time, there was two officers that came into my segregation cell and beat me because it was a white racist stuff. And I've never been a white racist, but I was still beaten for it, and didn't know what was going on.
Didn't you tell me one time that they had beaten you unconscious?
I remember one of them's name was Corporal Williams, and he was a big guy.
Didn't you say that they had beaten you unconscious?
Oh yeah, they beat me unconscious. I didn't wake up. When I woke up, I was laying on the floor, and like they didn't give me no head. I mean, they give me headshots, but no face shots. They made sure that they hit me to where they didn't leave no marks.
And it seems to me like you...
That's the same thing these people do today.
Seems...
If you get bugged them, they're a hands-on facility. They'll take you somewhere where there's not a camera at, and they will beat the crap out of you. Jesse Vaughn, Mitchell East, both of them are my witnesses on everything that's happened that I'm saying about this facility. Even Jesse Vaughn, they took him in a little room where they had me at when they first took me back up there for, they said I refused cell assignment, and he's got a good 2 or 3 inch scar that's about a 1/4 inch wide where the green team had busted his head.
Why did they do that?
Because he wouldn't shut his mouth.
So, okay, isn't that First Amendment freedom of speech?
Sure it is. These people don't care. Because they take you where the camera's not. And then when they get you where the camera's not, they beat you. That's the reason I wish some people from TDOC will come in here and start questioning protective custody inmates, protect these ones that's in segregation. Talk to some of these people. Talk to some of these inmates. Don't listen to what these officers say, because a lot of times they're lying their ass off to protect their co-workers.
Sure they are. Why do you think that the good officers don't speak out against the abuse of inmates?
Do I now?
Why do you think that the officers that are good officers don't speak out against the abuse of inmates?
Because they look at each other as brothers or sisters in here. They're not going to go against their co-workers because they're afraid they'll get fired or something, something happen with them. Who knows? But I think a lot of times, it's like, I don't know. It's almost like that show that they got on Animal Kingdom that's got all the violence in it. That family keeps stuff between them that happens. And that's the same as this facility. They keep things from some of the other people like the warden. I don't know if he knows about what goes on in here. I don't know. I can't speculate on that. But I can say this. A lot of times, some of the officers that don't agree with it just keep their mouth shut because they don't want to get lose their job or whatever. But I'd say a lot of times that these officers are with these officers that beat inmates. Because they look at us as less than.
So they just follow along, don't they?
Sure. I love you. Hey, look, I ain't got but a second. I got to get a shower.
Okay, baby.
But yeah, and when you send me these stamps, I'll send you all this information that I'm telling you now. That way you can talk to whoever needs. I'm praying that somebody will come and contact you.
Well, now the thing is that concerns me is when I put this online, that they may retaliate against you more.
Well, if they do, I'm gonna make sure my cellie has your information and numerous other people have your information, and they can call you and let you know what's going on.
I mean, that's something that my concern is that they will beat you, that they will plant something on you, that they will, there's a lot of things that as a family member that I have to try to think about.
Well, they can look at my record. Like if somebody was coming and playing a shake in my cell, they can look at my record. I've never dealt with no snakes. I've never been caught one. I don't mess with stuff like that. I don't do anything wrong. I'll follow the rules.
Honey, you had followed the rules. You had been there until Adam Jinks lied on you.
Even then, I'm still following the rules. I'm not doing anything, to violate the rules. And even by that, they still write us up and stuff for it.
And it's because nobody out here is seeing what's going on in there.
Right. And people out there don't know because they're not. They don't have nobody that's telling them. I'm telling them now. So by us telling them, do something.
Yeah.
Help us.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Somebody to help us.
Yep.
I love you, sweetheart.
I love you, baby.